And these two are going to start off with a Twintal versus Lollipop situation. Now, Aloria, I haven't really seen them bring Twintal to the table that many times, so it's always a surprise when they do.
Yeah, and of course we do have Yam going in with a very classic loadout. One thing that this Parasol is actually a really nice pick. I feel like it's going to do a really good job of just boxing everything Yam's holding out. Good pressure, just good walling tool. If Yam's staying on the move, it can be really easy for them to dodge out of the way. But as long as Aloria is using it defensively, using it smart, I'm pretty sure it's just going to cause Yam an endless wall of trouble.
Yeah, so far, not really connected with much, although it does get a nice uncharged poke there. Aloria with Rush already available. Arm Weak on the left side of Yam, who's going to get caught in a grab and sent across the arena. He's going to be walling in as many hits as Aloria can send out, but has to be careful here because down goes the arm.
Go for another grab. Aloria just calling Yam out with this pressure play. And that's going to be the center platform breaking out. We're not even done the first round.
Yep. Yeah, I thought Aloria might have just missed the center platform, but caught it on the outskirts and the game went, yeah, that'll count. So, trampoline is...
enough.
Oh!
And that... Was that a hard denial right there, just from that Scorpion?
Yeah, I think
and
it was.
Punish.
Yep.
Looking back at the replay, it literally crawled underneath the roaster, and literally soon as Aloria stopped punching with the roaster, it just jumped up and bit them in the face.
And that's where you gotta watch out for that. Yam has decided to pop that away. They think that Scorpion's done a good enough job there and has switched it out for the Tri-Blast. And meanwhile, Aloria's gonna commit to double roasting.
Definitely a solid pick. I feel like it was more meant to try to counter the Scorpion. And since Yam kind of just made the call out that Parasol was going away, that Tri-Blast is going to be extremely scary, very effective, and is going to give Aloria a huge amount of trouble. As we're seeing right now, as Yam is currently in the lead with about 25% health.
Yep.
It's going to quickly go away though. Two well-charged roasters going to connect.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference the charged up roaster makes. Yes, it's unguided, but it's unguided for a reason because the damage output is just that little bit more higher than your normal gloves.
And on top of that, if your opponent doesn't have Rush charged up, any charged hit that connects against them will make them take even longer to build up that Rush, as it'll just take away a small hair.
Yep, Yam's going to use Lola's bouncy nature to get as high up as possible before committing to that Rush. Connects with all of it, so sends Aloria into critical. One more hit will do the trick. Aloria does connect with another well-timed roaster and a grab. Quickly turning it somewhat back, but they've got to get another decent connection here. Goes for the rush, but Lola is not going to get hit by any of it. And that was Aloria's chance to really get back into this with 7 seconds to go. It's not going to happen for them, and Yam is going to take the first point.
Lollipop movement just... It's crazy how good some of these characters move. You really forget about it. They'll just like dash and jump and they'll just fly right out of the way. If you're too far away from your opponent too, and they're not backed up against a corner, one of the easiest options is they just back away from you. And I think it looked really amazing and exciting, but I'm pretty sure what happened there was Yam was just like, there's just a lot of space behind me. I'm just going to take 2 steps back. And all of a sudden now Aloria no longer has any range, no ability to punish or hit Yam in any way, and just was safe place.
Pretty much. I'm just waiting for Aloria to pick. Yam is banned, sparring, and Viet. It's always interesting watching Yam and Aloria play because I feel like obviously we've seen Yam go up against some amazing people as it is, Aloria being one of them, and it's like the rivalries that these two could bring is just, it's amazing. Like I said, I think it was like Yam Coslino at one point, then it was Yam Sheddy, and now it's Yam Aloria. So it's like Yam's got so many rivalries going at this point.
Yam is just that character in the narrative that's constantly picking up rivals, picking up enemies. Is Yam the protagonist?
Well, they're slowly working their way up there. They've not got as many title wins as Shady and Riffa, but they're determined to join them in those illustrious heights as we take ourselves to Scrapyard, our wonderful counterpick stage, our first one of the day. Yeah, I'm gonna stick.
It's a nice, well-rounded one.
Yeah.
Lots of space, lots of elevation, lots of things you can just kind of dance around and do on this stage.
Don't forget that high ground. The all-important high ground, which you should never ever take for granted.
Can be easily abused, but can also be easily countered by a lot of characters if you just know what you're doing in a disadvantaged state.
And for this setup, Aloy is going to bring out the Min-Min, going to bring out a Chakram and keep that hold of that rush there. Meanwhile, Yam's going to bring in a Revolver with that Lockjaw and immediately lands, but Aloy just got a Chakram in there at the last second.
This Revolver Lockjaw combo is definitely causing a lot of trouble for Aloria, but so far they're just staying steady, staying focused, and just this steady movement is allowing them to very easily dodge out of these very pinpoint attacks.
And so far, the Chakram is putting a little bit more pressure on Lola as well. Lola could just waddle around with that shield as long as they want, but that Chakram is stopping them from doing as much as they'd like to, and currently it's Aloria with the health lead, both with Rush available. And Yam's going to commit to it, but Aloria's ready for it this time round. And not going to take any damage from that. Gets another quick little uncharged poke, attempts to grab, and unfortunately is caught by the Revolver, so no rush for Aloria either.
And this is tempo in Yam's favor now, starting to close in the distance, starting to get a lot scarier. Now that Aloria lacks that Dragon Arm, trying to find a way to get things charged up. Yam has another rush. Might want to use it, but at the same time, that could actually make it easier for Aloria to get the punish. And so they're going to hold on to it and get the round with the timeout.
Yeah, very, very close in health, and you saw how long the game was taking to figure out who was going to win that. It was like, alright, time's ended, what am I actually going to decide now? Okay, no, it's gone to Yam. So Yam will start with their initiative, despite everything that Aloria threw at them. And they're going to start by taking a rush to the face as well. Yam bringing out a Coolerang with some incredibly hits already. And Aloria finally shuts that down for just a little bit.
An excellent quick drop. Aloria getting the grab opportunity. Has that Dragon Arm charged up again. That was a clear read opportunity. Just, that's the moment you go for rush there. Force your opponent to double punch and you just clobber them.
Yep, you saw they were trying to keep Yam in that corner for as long as possible. But Yam finally able to bounce free. And Aloria needs to be a little careful here. Arm has gone down and the Coolerang is going to give them a tap up the side. Aloria into critical. And Yam with rush, which is never where you want to find yourself now. Especially in KO range. All Yam is looking for is just an opportunity. Either another disable or another little hit with the boomerang. And just set Aloria up for another rush.
Aloria can find a chance to charge up their rush. That's going to be probably a pretty guaranteed Dragon Arm setup. Yam just trying to keep this pressure up. Is aware that that rush is, again, very particular. Gonna throw it out, but yeah, again, it's going to miss pretty hard this time.
Yeah.
Just, Yam going in with a couple of loadouts that have very inconsistent attacks, very inconsistent approaches. So you can't really get away with things as much as you'd like to.
I honestly didn't think that rush was going to connect, and it certainly didn't connect all of what Aloria was looking for. They're looking for a grab. They got a... Oh my god, they got it! They got it! Oh my goodness me. Never mind the grab. They hit 2 in a row. Somehow Aloria saves that. Well, we're going to another point in this second match. Yam will be ruined that mistake there.
And oh no, definitely. This is and now Yam switched over to the Revolver. I think Aloria just has a complete advantage in terms of arms. Yam has to be playing exquisitely, making sure these pokes, these pressures are coming in on point. Otherwise, Aloria is just going to be trampling Yam this entire round.
Yeah, you see that the Dragon Arm is now up on that Chakram, which is... Anytime you see anything on that Dragon Arm, especially something like the Chakram, it's just like, that's just a much bigger thing to hit you with. Aloria, I think, flinched there just a little bit and had to hold on to the shield, so nothing in the end for either of them. The Lawyer's gonna get a quick 1-2 combo again with the use of that stun. And this time it's the Power Soul that hits first, and suddenly Aloria has the health lead again, and they're finding a way around. They're finding a way around Yam's playstyle here.
The Parasol just doing a really good job. When Aloria is able to time it out, wait out for the revolver, just straight up walls that attack. And we're gonna get a nice rush. This is good. This is gonna be the KO here. And that brings the score to 1-1.
Yep, just like that, Aloria ties up the set, so we are not moving anywhere from round 1 just yet, because we're going to have ourselves match number 3 between these two, and Aloria coming back from behind, both in terms of the points in the set and also in that match, because they conceded that point and went on to win 2 back-to-back, so very impressive showing there from Aloria. We do have confirmation from the rest of the rounds so far that Sheddy has defeated Yoshi 2-0, so Yoshi will drop to underground. And we're still waiting on results from Replicant and Slick, so until then, we're going to continue on here. We're going to see DNA and Mausoleum bans, so we might see another counter pick come up, but somehow I doubt that because I don't think Yam will pick Viadolls.
No, we're going to be going to Buster Beach.
Yep.
It's a little bit more breathing room than Via Dulce, a little bit more of a zoning game you can play there. Just that pinch hair more because of that little bumper at the center.
Having said that,
and when you get cornered, it's unless it's like the Hot Pocket, the corners aren't as bad as Via Dulce.
Yeah, just don't go to the Hot Pockets. They're hot for a reason, and not for you.
Yeah, you will get quickly burned down if you are not careful with that.
Indeed. And I'm just seeing Stylo Wen in the chat. Good old Stylo. Nice to see you. And if you do decide to come to the EU and try to take on some of our ARMS players, let me know, because I would happily just run over if I can somehow convince the government to give me a passport and commentate for you.
It's such... They're so nice right now. They're being such lovely and wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Anyway.
Heading back into this, though. Yeah, I'm going to be changing things up. What's on the Siki? We've got a Thunderbird too, so this is a full shock loadout. Just looking for any confirms, any potential combo opportunities. But so far, it's just going to be a couple of uncharged hits working out for Yam, Gloria. Continuing to utilize the Parasol and Chakram Dragon. And it's still being scary. As soon as Yam gets that Dragon Arm charged up, look at that, another 165 damage taken out of Yam's health.
Yeah, you just love that. It's like Aloria gets a poke with the charged Chakram and then goes, you know what, I'm going to poke you with it again, because why not? It's charged, it's going to do damage. Also gets another grab anyway, so you see the health just slowly start to dwindle. All this pressure from Yam forces the arm weak on Aloria's side, but they don't care about that. They're just being completely aggressive. Went for the rush, a little too aggressive. And that's going to be a free rush for Yam.
That's going to balance things out a little bit, but Aloria still has a light health lead. One of the big problems with things like the Sparky is that you're noticing like it's actually a lot easier for Aloria to try to find these moments to get these Dragon Arms compared to other gloves of that similar sort. Like, just barely getting it in a lot of cases, and Yam's just kind of having to make a lot of really greedy plays just to keep the pressure going. That's going to be
No, it's not! The grab missed! Aloria just got out the way in time, and with 2 seconds to go, well, that's Aloria's point.
I don't think even if Yam landed that grab, I'm not sure if that would have gave them the round.
No.
I think Aloria had just a pinch above more health. Even then.
So Aloria turning the tables here. Aloria looking for one more point to progress into the semi-finals, and Yam, it would be weird to see Yam going into underground bracket at the end of round 1. It would be just surreal, but you never know. Aloria is pulling us back quite nicely. Yam is going to bring out a big missile in the form of that Siki. So high risk, high reward time.
Oh! Throwing the rush a little too early. Gonna deflect the explosion. I think it was gonna just flatly miss, but because of the fact that Aloria popped the rush, it actually allowed the Siki to blow them out of their rush.
Yeah, that was
taking away a good punish play.
And that is going to be another shot. The explosion is a little bit bigger than sometimes you expect. And now Aloya's going to have to fight all the way back. What was that grab? What?
That was a common punish on Lollipop's shield bounce. If you just kind of throw out grabs, there's a lot of Lolas who will just kind of fall into your grab because they're moving. Oh, it's kind of like the idea of like a ribbon girl quick dropping into your grab. It's around that kind of basis.
Wow.
Just a little more consistent, a little easier to do.
Well, Yam unfortunately doesn't get anything with their rush, and with 30 seconds to go, Aloya has a chance. Could force a shield break on Yam if they get spicy with all the pressure they're putting on here. But not going to hit anything yet, and here it comes now.
That's going to cement a health lead. 15 seconds left on the clock. We're not going to be seeing another rush in this bout.
No, it's not even close.
Yam has to get a shock grab confirmed. That's probably going to be the only thing.
And I don't think that's going to happen here. It does get one grab, but it won't be enough to take the lead. And Aloya seals the comeback, winning the set 2-1. What a way to start the Scrapstar series tonight, my word.
That was, yeah. Just excellent plays on Aloria's part. Yam made some really good plays as well, but yeah, once Aloria started to figure out what they wanted to do, found the right loadout. They're like, this is the right answer. This is what I want. They were able just to pressure Yam out, and as a result, able to take them down, and will be moving on to the semifinals. I mean, I do that a lot too, Aloria. So does every other top player. None of us are as clever or intelligent as you'd like to think we are.
Believe me when I say this, it's true in any game. I have done commentary for Splatoon and whatnot, and even in Splatoon, you see people fluff their lines. It's so easy to do. Trust me, you're not alone.
Top player still SD in Smash.
Top players still think it's okay to jump in the water as a squid.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just don't. Anyway.
They think a lot of things, in a lot of cases, they're very wrong.
So, Replicant will be moving onwards as well, and taking out Sick and Slick. So we're going to see Replicant versus Sheddy in that second bracket. And it'll be Riffa versus Aloria. That's going to be, both of these are going to be very interesting matches. I'm very much looking forward to it. So we will be starting off, I do believe, with Replicant versus the reigning champion in the form of Sheddy. So we're going to get that set up for you now. Whilst we wait.
I will say this too. You know you're a top player when you make a very clear, drastic mistake, and then you win anyways.
Pretty much. Oh dear, my spelling is all over the place today. That's not good. To be fair, I've had enough done today, so.
I've had matches where I forgot to check the controls on my controller, and it was somebody who had a very different control setup that compared to me, who played last. So I got into the match, and like a solid 10-20 seconds of that bout was me trying to figure out my own controls, and then I won. And it's like, okay then, I guess I win.
And this is why I call Naliv one of the best mechanical players in the world.
You want to know my secret? I don't have to worry about I couldn't find the jump button, but I didn't have to worry about it because I don't use the jump button.
Oh, bless you.
I need to remember to use that button more. It's a good button.
Yeah, it is a good button. Oh, see, even Stylo.
I mean, technically, I think Goof is, at least when Goof was active, I by far say he was a better mech. I just gotta get away with cheesy aggro whammer stuff.
Whammers.
I'm one of the few people who get to say the whammer carries me.
Oh dear me. The Whammer carries you like hot slaps carry slacks.
Yes. And it looks like we're going to be going to Yemple rounds. The grounds of the temple for this next battle.
Yample grounds.
Yemple rounds.
I don't think I've ever heard it called that before.
I've said it a few times. I usually don't say it here because I put on at least a little bit more effort to stay professional, but sometimes I don't.
Ah, good. So, like, whenever you're casting your own tournaments, then.
Exactly.
Good job. So, reigning champion Shetty will be going up against the Replicant. It's the usual affair for Shetty. Ribbon Girl coming in with a Tribolt and a Roaster. Replicant, meanwhile, coming in with a very hot, not so Ribbon Girl friendly Hydra and a homie.
It's a pretty solid, like, zoning wall-out loadout that Replicant has going in. The Hydra, good counter for Ribbon Girl. Homie just good at a safe distance, but if Shady is keeping this mid-range fight going, it could be really difficult to get that Homie to stick up its connections.
Indeed, so
This
far.
is going to be an exciting match, too, because whoever wins this is going to be either moving on to face off against Griffa or Aloria. I'm pretty sure everybody wants to make sure that Rifa is not able to make it to Grand Finals at advantage.
Let's put it this way, if the winner's final ends up being Riffa versus Replicant. Oh, wow! Alright, I'm gonna scratch that for just a second. Shetty with another well-timed Tribolt. Unfortunately, not so well-timed rush on their end, but still, a very tasty stun for that bolt, stopping Replicant from anything that they wanted to do.
Last pillar taken down, and now it's just an open field for these bolts, these Hydra bullets to just spread out and fly freely. Shady now just looking for a little bit more damage. Just about, in most cases, it's probably going to be only just one hit that Shady needs, but if it's an uncharged hit, it might be two.
Yeah, I mean, if the Roaster hits, it'll definitely KO. I've seen it KO at this range. But with 5 seconds to go, I don't think Shady needs to worry. I think they will know that the match is theirs to take, and that will be that. Shady will take the first point of this first match. But yeah, Ribbon Girl, well, Ribbon Girl hitting more hits with the Tribolt than Replicant was hitting with the Hydra, but they are going to stick with that setup. So firmly believes that it works, and to be fair, the Hydra is very good for just stopping Ribbon from being a bouncy menace, and that is going to be a big time rush, 465, and that's why you do not allow the missile to hit you twice in a rush.
This is going to be a fierce one, but losing out on about 200 damage there compared to what Replicant got. But fortunately, a nice charged Tribolt and a grab following up after on the knockdown. It's going to balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, Shady trying to play as aggressive as possible to not have Replicant fire off any more of those, but in doing so, kind of got caught out as well. Finally punched through the grab, but unfortunately the bolt's just a little too high. Weak on the left.
Have another rush ready.
Could shield break. But,
I don't think it can shield break just because the homie does that little shield chip damage. And it's especially not if Replicant is going to dash right into that Tribolt. Rush comes out, and it's going to be a safe and easy block.
30 seconds to go, Shady has a slight, and I mean slight, health lead. Well, pretty much both in KO range now, so who's going to get the last hit? Well,
the homie is.
Yep. It's like, ah, sweet, let me just explode.
Let me just sit on Shady's lap and then do a self-destruct. Just for you, Lord Replicants.
So, one apiece, and Ribbon Girl's going to start us off with another high tempo grab.
Replicant just about ready with another rush. If he lands it, that will just pretty much balance out everything Shady's done to this point. And
yeah,
we're gonna have that.
480 immediately slices Shady down to half, and another Hydra just for good measure.
And just like that, one rush exchange in, and now Shady's immediately on the back heel, trying to close in this distance, trying to balance out this health pool. Rush is probably going to be the answer, but homie says no again.
Another big time explosion saves Replicant's bacon. And despite Replicant being in that corner, they're just going to get another Hydra shot, send Shady straight back to the middle platform, put Shady in critical, and is basically looking for one more tap to take the first point in this semi-final. And here it comes.
And very easy punish. Shady trying to go for a mix-up with that grab, and Rep's like, oh, hey, the grab! That means I win, right? And the answer was, yes, you do, Rep. You do win.
Well, Replicant is going to take the initiative in this semi-final. Gosh. Yeah, anytime anyone brings a missile to the fight, the one thing you do not want to let them do is get a rush off, because it's like, yeah, you can hit them as many times as you want, you can poke them with as many uncharged hits as you want, but if one rush goes through, you may as well be back at square one.
500 damage. It's just a free 500 damage, like, sometimes.
Yeah.
If you know how to pressure, if you can just bait your opponent into fear, you just it's free real estate. Like,
come closer. It's free explosions.
Sparring and Via are going to be banned, and we'll see what Shady wants to do here next. I'm not sure if we're going to see that Ribbon Girl at least in that manner again.
No,
like, Shady had a really good start, and then Replicate just started to pull out the no use.
It's
and...
like, I see what you're trying to do. How about I preview this? It's like, I see you're just about to take the lead. It would be a shame if I brought a missile to this fight.
It would be a shame if I just won one rush exchange and then took away your rush, and that basically undid the last 30 seconds of the set.
I mean, credit to Shady. Shady was also denying Replicant of some of their rushes very early on as well. Just the tribal just continued to get the stun when Replicant really didn't want that. So
yeah, some of those tribal pokes were very odd points. I really like the one where Shady just threw out this tribal. Replicate uses rush and then super dashes right into it.
It's like, Replicant, you had that. What are you doing?
He was like, I love this. I want this. He likes the sound of this, like the squeak when a charged arm hits. I actually really find it satisfying too, because it's just like that loud squeak. It's like every stun arm or every flinch arm is like a squeaky hammer or something like that. You impact and you get that loud squeak. But rather than it just being like, oh, nothing happened, it means, oh, now I just got some good damage and I might be able to go for a grab confirm.
It's like, ooh, I like the sound of the stun so much. Here, let me get hit by it as well.
Can't blame the man.
So, Shady is not going to switch out the Ribbon Girl. We're going to see the same setup actually. Going to stick with that Tri-Bolt and the Roaster. Replicant, meanwhile, has decided to go for an all-out poison slowdown with a Gusher and a Scully. So just a little bit different from their from their missile mind games. Now we've got a big bounty ball.
Replicant wanting to bring a whole new meaning to the word toxic right now, starting to get some strong pressure. And that pineapple grab at the start with that beautiful wide angle because of that gusher just completely blindsided Shady.
Yep, and at this point in time, that's going to be a Gusher hit. Nice and charged, so we got our wonderful poison stun. You can see already Ribbon Girl not really appreciating that. Does go away after a few seconds, and Replicant's going to come in, gets the hit with the skull. He misses with the Gusher, unfortunately.
Still got 135 plus that little poison stack. Gonna give Rep a little opportunity to get a bit more damage, and that is gonna be a stolen rush. What the homie can do, the Gluster can also do.
Yes, it can. Shady is going to get at least one stun and grab chain combination, but Shady now, well, don't get poked by anything. You will go down.
Yeah, any kind of poke, except for like maybe a stray explosion, it's probably going to be an untimely end for Shady here.
Yep, gets another roaster hit though, and Replicant on the cusp of dipping into critical themselves. 10 seconds to go. So provided they don't get hit by, well, much, they should be fine. You see them just dancing around in that corner, taking the hits. The grab will not do anything, and that will be Replicant's point. Just love the fact that Ribbon Girl had the height advantage, went for rush, and then Replicant went, you think you're safe up there? Did you forget the Gusher also bounces?
You forgot, this Glusher is also well known as being a very solid anti-air here, and it's just gonna be an anti-air for you and take away your rush.
And Shady's gonna switch out that Tri-Bolt for a not quite so hot slap.
Oh,
Oh!
almost the perfect deflect, but Slamamander is a little edgy with its timing. It's a little inconsistent for a lot of people to read, and he's going to end up dashing into it instead. And now we've got a huge disadvantage for Replicant. An uncharged Adendi grab right there is going to just keep Shady in the lead.
Yeah, Replicant not, does get a nice bouncy grab, so we'll take that at least. So, not completely out of this yet. And Shady holding onto this rush for as long as possible. Feel like they're probably confident enough to try and take this point into the final one, but don't want to be too overconfident because all Replicant needs to do is hit a couple more pokes and could go for one themselves.
Tries to go for the grab, almost gets sniped down by the roaster as a result. He's going to be able to keep himself going, keeping this fight greening. And Shady's already on like timeout mode. Just, I don't want to get hit. I'm just going to stay as annoyingly difficult to catch so you don't get a chance to kill me. I'm going to get my chance to knock you down.
Just give Replicant a chance to try and adapt to this loadout. They're going to drop the Gusher and bring in a Power Baller. And keep the Scully though for that quick sharp pokage. And both Rift Rush readily available as we start this final point. And Rep's going to jump for it first. But Ribbon Girl had the hide, was already on the move, and scores with a counter rush of their own, 365.
Bravla just could not keep up with that flurry pattern from that roaster. And Shady's just going to be able to start rolling with this tempo. Gets a nice juggle off of that Slamamander hit. And Replicant just below 50% already and is not looking too healthy right now.
Yeah, finally the score of a charged Power Baller, but nothing much that Shady won't mind too much. But if they start getting pushed into that corner, they'll need to do something about it. Thankfully does. Scores with a charged roaster and already has rush available. They're closing in, knowing Replicant is in KO range. Replicant knows they can't afford to take another rush, and here it comes. It will connect, and that will be the KO. That is the equalizer that Shady was after, and our reigning champion ties it up 1 apiece. Oh boy.
Replicant tried to come up with a sickly combo, but that Ebola pop just ended up popping right in his face.
It certainly did. Meanwhile, in the underground bracket, we can report that Yam had their bye, so they'll face the loser of this match, ironically enough. Yoshi is through past Sick and Slick, so Yoshi will be awaiting the loser of Rift Aloria, which that's also going to be an interesting fight. That semi-final is coming up after this match, of course. I'm waiting to see what our two players decide to ban through. And so far, very close indeed. Both of them, Shady bringing different arms to the table, and whilst it didn't work initially, again, they managed to get back on track as that match progressed. You were going to say something.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay.
I will say though, Shady was very happy that they didn't have to see the Hydra or the homie there. Might be seeing them come back, especially since we are going to Temple Grounds.
Oh, Replicant taking them back to Temple Grounds. It's like, hey, we're going to go back to the place of your previous demise. I'd show you where your body was, but it's it's not there because it exploded.
Hey, do you remember when I killed you here with rush explosions? You want to do that again?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Replicant double check it just to make sure that Shady isn't switching to Twin Tail.
Yeah, just sometimes it's cool to make sure.
Yeah.
You just want to be like, are you gonna be here, or am I playing into something else?
Sometimes you just never know. But no, it is going to be our same characters. It is going to be Ribbon versus Lola. Lola not going to bring a missile, so we won't see bits of Ribbon Girl this time round.
I do want to say that Replicant is very on point with his arms fashion, usually picking things that match a certain theme, a certain idea, and this is also a good counter pick loadout. The Burchuk just really good as a rush option against Ribbon Girl's Popper, just consistently a solid choice against her. So Shady might have a bit of an issue here. That also said, Popper does have a relatively easy time getting knocked down, especially by a roaster, especially by a Tribolt.
But Shady is going to fall foul to one of those charge pops that's sent straight out of the air and to the other side of that pillar. He's going to bounce straight back in though, both with rush available. And that's another quick little 1-2 poke from Shady. Just keeping this this health level, just for the moment. It probably will change, especially with the pressure that Replicant's putting forward, but Shady might try and use it as a bait to try and go for a rush themselves, but they'll slowly fade away now.
Both players still extremely equal. Rep just barely getting a lead right now. But it's going to get, again, taken away by Shady landing a grab. These two are just kind of going back and forth on these exchanges. Just the smallest advantage is happening here and there, and then it's just, in the blink of an eye, it's gone.
Yeah, it's like, you hit me. Well, now it's my turn to hit you. And as it stands, it's Shady who's in critical. 15 seconds to go. This is incredibly close match. Nobody wants to take the win, it seems, because we're going into 10 seconds, both on similar health, both in critical condition, both with a rush available, and it's gonna go the way of Shady, who decides, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna rush you now.
Rep didn't want to throw out the rush. He knew, like, unless he got a Popper confirm, Shady's rush was probably going to beat his out pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, and Shady was waiting specifically to try to punish Replicant's rush, and that was basically just a call-out moment where it's like, yeah, you either use your rush here and I win, or I just rush here and I win anyway. So I'm just going to rush and I'll win. And Replicant's like, oh, well, you just win here, so I'm just not going to use my rush.
Yeah. No real point in it, because otherwise, if Shady hadn't used the rush, you never know, it could have been a draw. 160 damage with the
not gonna
rush.
be too fierce,
Yeah,
but
didn't get the airtime that they would have probably liked. But they do still have lead with it, and it is Shady who is once again back into critical first. At this time with a much bigger health lead this time around, Replicant. And we'll take the trade. Yeah, we'll happily take the trade in those kind of situations. Although just immediately just kick straight back up as we go into the final point of the final match.
Replicant starting by quickly snicking Shady out of the air as they try to quickly approach that Popper, just popping Shady back onto the ground. Out comes the rush, and it's gonna be able to parry through that Burchuk. 325 damage.
Yeah, you saw what Replicant was trying to do, but no avail this time round. Still similar health here, and that is going to be 185, but there was no knockback, and Shady immediately blocks the rest of the rush.
A nice restand gonna allow Shady to stay in this bout. Did take a heavy amount of damage regardless, and Replicant is holding on to a tempo lead right now.
And backed into that corner, but it's not going to phase Lollipop too much. Consistently wobbling around with that shield, and again gets another poke with the... Wow, I can't even say Popper anymore. Yeah, arm weak on the right hand side. Shady with a rush available. They're going to hold on to it, try and back Replicant into another corner, force the initiative again. Shady into critical, here comes the juggle, but no, it didn't make it in time, I don't think. 285 is still big damage though. Oh, and the bolt!
That's gonna be it!
The bolt hits and Replicant is in the underground bracket. Shady, the reigning champion, takes out Replicant in a 2-1 thriller.
Rep tried to parry that down with the Popper, but Tribal was a little too close to the body, and that Popper was just nowhere to be found.
Nope. And it does mean that Replicant will have to try and climb through the underground bracket if they wish to make it to the grand finals. Meanwhile, Shady books their ticket into top 3. They are in the winners final, and there they will meet either the 22-time winner Riffa or Eloria, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's always a test. It's always a test when you go up against someone like Riffa. So we get to see how far you've come.
And it could be a test in a few ways. It could be Replicant playing with his food. He's very well known for playing with his food, picking the random button, mixing things up, and just picking.
You meant Riffa, right?
Yeah. I said Riffa, didn't
you said Replicant.
Same difference. And we'll tend to pick a lot of very unconventional characters and loadouts and just play things out and see how it works out. We'll see if Aloria is able to have a trick or two under their sleeve. They were able to take Yam down. Now they have to try to take Riffa out.
Yeah. It would be an interesting moment for them. After a lot of especially after a lot of hard times, obviously Aloria finally breaking the top 3 in the Challenge Cup a couple weeks back was awesome, and then seeing them get 3rd place in the Scrapstar again last week, that momentum is on Aloria's side, and you know the desire to make it that one step further is absolutely there. So a challenge like Riffa is going to be probably exactly what they need to, because imagine a win against Riffa would just be a lot of momentum.
That might cause a burst into ego. One might say. We're gonna DNA that, by the way.
Ooh. I think the only stage we haven't seen today then has been Via and not Scrapyard. What's the other S? Sparring Ring. Thank you.
Spurring Ring.
Yes, the other S, the most infamous of S's, Snake Park. No.
It's one day. It'll. I mean, I could run another of them scrapyards that's just the Snake Park.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Slacks, Slacks for a fact will be like, hey, you gotta participate in this, otherwise I'll hot slap you.
I mean, I would like people to participate in my stuff.
I mean that too.
Last time I think only 2 people showed up. Actually, not even. I think nobody showed up.
No, we can't have that. Although I know exactly how you felt like earlier this year.
Yeah.
The My tournaments went very much the same way.
Oh yeah, and things are kind of going that way right now with Riffa just trampling Aloria down, trying to go in for the Dragon Cancel mix-up. But right now this Tri-Blast is just causing Aloria pain to no ends, and is going to be able to secure this first round for him.
Yeah. Tri-Blast, Ice Dragon, it's just... The Tri-Blast, obviously, they're not great for Min, just on the basis of, anytime you see the sidestep, the bolts are generally there, and the Ice Dragon, well, it's got the range, it's got the poke factor, and it's yeah, you never want to get tickled by that laser.
You don't really want to get tickled by much of Riffa's loadout, just easy chip damage, easy pressure, good punishes all around. His loadout just complements itself very effectively, and he's had this loadout for such a long time, just has refined it down to a science. And Aloria struggling to come up with a formula to work their way through this, as Riffa gonna just safely warp out of that rush and even punishes with a little Slamamander at the end.
It's almost like classic Riffa at this point in time. Chakram almost making contact, but not before the blasts can just send Aloria back down onto the floor. Aloria finds herself in critical condition, does get a poke with the Chakram, and actually takes Riffa to just about the 50% mark. So slowly coming back into this match, but still a ways to go.
Ooh, there's a grab confirmed. Aloria not going to go for it, but a rush 10 KO at this point.
Oh my word, Aloria's got this right back into their favor. Oh, they just need one more poke. That's all they're looking for, and they get it. The Chakram really coming in clutch there, was just consistently hitting. Wow, Aloria really did start to get the grips of that towards the end there. It was just like every other Chakram throw was hitting Riffa.
Once you get a Dragon Chakram and you're close to Ninjara, he kind of loses a lot of his options.
And it's going to break through that grab attempt as well. Big 305 for Aloria. With some inner slice initiative. Obviously Riffa has theirs as well. You see going for a slap and Ice Dragon combination. So it's always an interesting combination to work with. This is pretty much no straight punching at this point.
It's just dodging. A lot of how this loadout works is just dodge. Play around your opponent's attacks, trying to bait things out. It's very just like, hit and run. And so far, it is holding out with a light advantage. Aloria struggling to find a chance to get that Dragon Arm, constantly having to bring out the shield to stop these attacks, but Rifa starting to find himself in a corner. Again, finding a way out, but Aloria is keeping up this chase, recognizing it was that aggression that was giving them the win. Without the Dragon Arm, it's just a little bit harder to do.
Yep, another rush coming out brings Rifa into critical as well. 30 seconds to go. Rifa does still have that rush, and if it can connect, it should KO. Rifa now with a slight health lead. And it's just, can Aloria get around this Ice Dragon? The rush is going to come out, and it will connect. All Rifa needs is just a series of slaps, and that will do it. But Aloria coming back into that really nicely.
An excellent catch there, just being like, oh, the Chakram's coming from this way. I'll throw a rush and and he utilized the weight advantage that arms gain when rush is activated to just plow straight through that Chakram. And as Aloria was still stuck in the momentum of moving that way, he's just able to catch them out and slap them down.
And we are going to see Viados. So now it just means the only stage we haven't seen is Sparring Ring. That's it. But to be fair, it's Sparring Ring is normally like the first one to be banned. So Rifa,
yeah.
Ooh, and you already know what that means when you see a purple Ninjara coming out from Rifa. It's poison time.
And we've got ourselves a nice clapback as well. A very nice option for pressuring or protecting yourself from pressure. Can struggle a little bit against the Chakram. But when it's a Dragon Arm, that's a little bit of a different story, because that size, it's just so big that at that point, there's going to be a lot of cases where it will just literally walk into that shield.
Yep, and Aloria going to bring a Kablama to this fight as well, and unfortunately you see exactly what it's doing, because it's such a big arm as well. It's just hitting the clapback and coming straight back at Aloria, so maybe not the best of moves, and so far Rifa is just not only hiding behind that clapback, but just immediately poking with that Scully, and look at that, up to 2 on that poison stack that time.
Oh, tries to go for the grab, safely able to evade the Kablammer, but Rifa is starting to lose a little bit of health, and Aloria has that rush tempo. Oh, an excellent deflect though is going to allow Rifa to keep himself fighting. Takes that Dragon Arm away. Now Aloria has to find a chance to charge up again.
Yep, does get another quick little poke with the Kablammer. Just about gets Rifa onto 50%, gets the Dragon Arm up at last at the Chakram. Still has a ways to go. They cannot take another point of damage, otherwise they are going down, and there it is! The clapback,
Good old 1-2 of the clapback, bap in your face, and then a Scully just telling you off afterwards.
Yeah, the Scully is quick enough where it's just like, if the clapback hits you, the Scully is just immediately going to hit you. Because it's just a quick arm. It's what it does. Rifa is going to choose to put that Scully away though. I think it's time for some, time to get a little bit more hotter, bringing out a Phoenix.
And a nice curve. Aloria going to try to parry through that with the rush, but that Phoenix was well on its way to eating Aloria's face right there. You cannot deflect a rush attack like that. Aloria would have needed to come out a little bit earlier to be able to try to fight back against that Phoenix.
Yeah, gets another side explosion, so deals a little bit of damage with it, but nothing else. And look at that, just a whole pincer movement there. The clapback and the Phoenix just completely sandwiching her. And unfortunately, that is going to be Rifa's point as well. So it is 2-0 to Rifa, and Rifa advances to winners final. Aloria will have to fight in the underground bracket.
Stage just ended up not working out even close to what Aloria was likely hoping there. Clapback just such a... When you know how to use a clapback, those things are like absurd. Just the pressure, just the walling that you can utilize there, it will just give everybody a bad time. And we're gonna bring Shady back in for the next round.
Yes, we are, and it's going to be Riffa versus Sheddy. Now, it has been quite some time since we saw these two go at it. Never mind that, I should probably point out that the last time we had Riffa in a grand final was, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago? No, 9 weeks ago.
I mean, a lot of it too is just Riffa rested on his laurels. Like he had a really good comfy place, really high up on his chair, and he's like, I'm just gonna sit here.
Watch
and
from
you
afar.
can't blame the guy. Like,
I mean,
it was a really comfy place. It's not even one of those where it's like, oh, you're getting too overconfident in yourself. He's just like, nah, I earned this. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I think this participation is more just in spirit to be like, yeah, finale.
Yeah, let's do it. And to be fair, the stats do speak for themselves. He's won this 22 times. To put that into perspective, the second highest winner is Sheddy with 7.
To put that into even more perspective, this is the 45th EU Scrapstar. Riffa has, if he takes this, he has more than half of all the events that have been organized to this date.
Oh dear me.
I don't know about you, but if I was rolling with a win streak like that, I'd probably rest on my laurels too a little bit.
Well,
how many did Esky win? Not even close to that many. Like, it's nah, I don't even have the numbers, but I can guarantee you he's nowhere near as consistent. I think he got bored really quickly.
Well, we're gonna see this match starting off. Riffa with Ninja, Triblast, and the Ice Dragon coming back in again. Sheddy, usual picks. Ribbon Girl coming in with that roaster and a nice tasty grab onto that Ninja. Sends them straight into that corner area. But they're going to get pipped down just a little bit. Riffa not allowing them to take any advantage of a potential Hot Pocket.
This is definitely going to work out a little bit better. If I'm not mistaken, Ribbon Girl's one of Riffa's less favored matchups, something he's generally a lot less interested in.
And you like how quick that Riffa was to just immediately shrug off the fact that it's like, okay, didn't get the rush, but I'm still going to come straight back at you, and here's a grab.
You just gotta keep swinging, you gotta keep fighting, you cannot give up, especially against a fighter like Shady, who could just throw out that pressure and then immediately, at the end of the rush, oh hey, I'm gonna land a grab now.
And Riffa, one poke away from going down, and that grab is going to do it. And Sheddy proving why they are the reigning champion currently of the Scrapstar series. Throw a Ninja to the corner. And we're going to see ourselves go into the second round. Riffa going to equip a nice windy slap of their own, and Sheddy's going to drop the slap actually and go for a tri-ball.
I feel like this is going to work out a bit better for Riffa now, and we are already seeing that the Dragon just could not get its point, could not. One of the reasons why Riffa really doesn't like playing against Ribbon Girl is the way he utilizes it. It's really easy for a lot of players like Shady just to dodge around those setups and just leaves them really open. So the Mander's going to be a lot more consistent, a lot safer for him to play with.
Got away from that stun, but did get taken down in the end. We're going to go towards that corner, and again, just immediately teleporting. Remember, if you've not really seen Ninja before and you keep seeing them just zip by, that's because anytime they block, they will just teleport, and they're actually good movement there from Riffa.
He was like, I'm just going to bait you into that and then let the Slamamander rush you down, because you can do nothing about that thing.
That was an amazing play from Riffa, and Sheddy, well, 1 HP, just one more poke. We'll take this point away from them, and there it is, the bolts will hit. But just great awareness from Riffa, just to notice that Shady was going to go for the rush, went to the left, and yeah, there was nothing that they could have done about the slap. By the time it reached them, it was, well, pretty much over.
Shady going to be bringing out the Slamamander of their own. Now we've got ourselves a good old trade of fisticuffs, or slap-a-cuffs in this case.
Thankfully they haven't doubled on it yet, and that was as close as it gets. Literally
Shady isn't giving up though, immediately back on the chase. Rifa gonna get another solid blast, but again, Shady closing in that distance, now has Rifa in the corner, is looking to get that pressure, get that punish, and is gonna be able to make that connection with the roaster.
Yep, 155. Blast is almost going to catch Shady out, but just jumps through it. It's going to get caught there with a quick little 1-2. The slap coming in not once, but twice. The second time as a charged hit. The blast will do an explosion, and Shady nearly went down in the grab, but the blast will come in as a charge, just for a little bit of style.
Just a fancy little kill there. Shady trying to back away. Ribbon Girl just a little too slow on the ground, though, is not going to be able to back away from that and ends up getting knocked down.
And Rifa, as a result, is going to take the first point of the set. And again, it literally came down to the switching of the arms. Rifa realizing the Ice Dragon just could not work against what Shady was doing. Shady was just too fast for it. Substituted the dragon out, and just like that, it worked out a little bit better. And even though the fact that Shady came into that match with a roaster and a slap that time round, Shady was still being caught out by what Rifu was bringing, like just hitting more consistently with the slaps of their own. So we'll see what Shady decides if they want to swap, if anything, for our next match as we go to a very familiar site. It's Temple Grounds.
I have confidence in Shady's Ribbon Girl. I think if Shady stuck to the Ribbon Girl, they might be able to find a way to make it work. But that Slamamander was just giving them a lot of issue. And Rifa gonna try to make a change to catch Shady off guard, but now we've got a Twintel in the field. I also like Shady's Twintel, so this might be a really good counter. We're gonna see some immediate pressure, giving Shady a light advantage.
Yes, Shady.
Always have it taken away by a charge popper.
Yeah, Shady was like, just immediately dashed up to Rifa and went, alright, what are you going to do about my Twintel? And Rifa came back anyway with a hit with the pop and the lockjaw, and immediately roasting up Shady with that. Always got to be careful with the lockjaw. Obviously it fires off that projectile first and then follows up with the rest of the punch. And so far it's Rifa with the advantage first. Hits with the rush, but inadvertently forces Shady back behind the pillar and could not do any further damage from that.
A safe and steady pillar will protect Rifa as well. These pillars being very nice, very friendly to these two right now. Pretty sure they're both going to get pretty frustrated with them not too long from here, as we're already going to see one half of the field gone, and both players just agree, let's kill the pillar. Let's kill the pillar right here.
I was like,
giving Katie the space to kill the pillar there. That wasn't even a, I'm going to wait here. It wasn't even a, I'm going to chase you down and try to capitalize on the fact that you're trying to take the pillar. Just, we both don't like these pillars. How about I just let you break the pillar? Oh, wait here. It's okay. It's fine. Let me know when you're done and we'll get back to the fight.
Well, both arms weak, and that's one arm down. This should be the KO for Rifa. It is. And there we go. I was going to say, because I was going to make a comment very early on, that normally Shady makes it a goal to take these pillars out as quickly as possible. So not only do we have 2 rushes before Shady suddenly went, hang on a moment, pillars please. But they are going to start at a disadvantage and immediately goes down to lockjaw again. And jumps up for the rush, is going to connect it this time round. 285 with that tri-bolt and a roasted combination.
Gonna miss out on a bit of damage. I bring this up every once in a while, and I will bring it up again. It is essential when you have 2 flurry rushes to get the timing down on your finishing touches. I think Shady lost out on like 40-50 damage because they just finished with the tri-bolt instead of that roaster. And it makes a huge difference in a lot of exchanges. I think Rifa would be 1 hit away from getting, that would have been the KO right there if Shady got the right finishing touch. We'll see if Shady's able to take this down even without that little advantage. They're going to need to use their rush though, which it's worth it for the round, but I think not worth it when you can think, like when you realize, like, if that roaster was the finishing touch, Shady wouldn't have needed to throw out that rush and would have just been fine.
Yeah, and Rifa immediately tried to start with the grab, but Shady's having absolutely none of that. It's going to go down to the popper in the end. Cancels out the chakram with one of their own. But it's going to send back again Rifa with rush already available, and Shady not even close to halfway, and is going to fall victim to a big 330. And suddenly not liking the fact that they don't have a rush at all to try and bring them back into this.
Trying to build it up quickly, Shady is just hairs away from being able to get that charged up. But Rifa holding on to a very confident lead and is just going to safely dodge out of the way. Shady just feeling maybe a little bit of desperation here, trying to swing things in their favor.
Gets a good charge rush. Oh wow, gets a nice roaster and then a follow-up stun into a grab and has quickly turned this back on its head. The actress aura coming out and another charge roaster hit, and suddenly Shady does actually have the lead now. This is a great little comeback from Shady, making up for all of that.
Just looking for a little bit more damage, but Rifa has a rush ready, and if Shady's a little too eager here, gonna safely, smartly build up that rush, just looking to try to create that opportunity, but they're not gonna get it.
I honestly thought that Shady might have been just a little too far away for that, but it does connect in the end, and Rifa will take that point and lead this set 2-0.
I think Shady was, but Rifa is also Ninjara, and Ninjara is really good at moving forward. So he just closed that distance in, and now it was safe range.
Oh. Alright, I guess Shady has been listening to my, to what we've been saying. We are going to sparring ring for match number 3. Now, will Shady decide to switch from Twin Tail? No. And Rifa is going to be another colour of Ninja. This time we're going to see the red ones coming out. Oh boy, it's everyone's favourite missile. As we see Toaster and Homie for Rifa. And Shady, meanwhile, Roaster and Chakram going to stick with what they've been using and already being put under a lot of pressure from Rifa, who's just weakening that arm on the left hand side. Just relentless punching. Shady's trying to be as aggressive as possible and force a mistake out of Rifa, but he's not having any of it at the moment. And another explosion catching Shady off guard.
Shady just desperately trying to find some kind of opportunity. But Rifa has a rush ready now too, and he could easily bait something out from Shady before that rush happens. You know, again, Shady's desperately trying to build up that rush, trying to get that ready so that they have an advantage, some kind of counterplay. Because you can tell Shady is like really worried about what's coming up, and they're going to end up just blindly throwing out the rush again, determined to turn that tide, switch that tempo over. But it's, again, plenty enough space for Rifa to dash back. He's going to be able to move out of the way, and with it, he's going to be able to claim this first round.
It's like, you've just dipped into critical. This missile is just what you need.
have a healthy medicine of explosion.
Oh, and now we're going to come in with double the explosions. We're going to have a kablammer coming into this and immediately knock Shady on the side. So this is going to be an interesting setup, just on the basis that Rifa is going to punch through every single one of these.
I mean, granted, he can punch through them, no problem, but he's also got to make that kablammer connect, and it is a slow, lumbering tool. The ogre of the arm scene. It is going to take a while for it to reach, but if it does, it's going to pack a punch.
Yeah, you just got a general gist of that. As it went to land, it took so long to land, and then so long to come back. Yeah,
you could watch a full feature film in the time it takes for the kablammer to extend, land, and then retract. That's how slow it takes sometimes.
Yeah. Rifa actually tried to go for the rush. Only scores 245. I say only 245. One missile hit is essentially a good average rush.
It was more than what Shady got.
Exactly. But Rifa is a poke away. Well, never mind a poke. I think a grab will do it. And sends Rifa into the corner. I somehow don't think we'll see that combination come back up again.
You don't say, do you?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm going to have to think about a few moments. Well, I'll put that thinking aside because we are going to dive right back in. And it doesn't look like we've got a homie kablammer in here right now.
No, we do not. We got a toaster back in, so going for all of the hotness. And Shady with that tri-bolt roaster and is finding it a little bit more difficult this time round.
Toaster just a little bit faster, a little more steady and consistent is giving Rifa some nice advantage. He's got that rush ready too. I think that can geo break.
And
He's gonna be
well.
very fast with that Kablammer. I think if he held it out, he could have got the shield break and got even more damage. But this is still a good exchange.
Yep.
And a nice parry with the Kablammer too, making sure he doesn't even take a single shred of damage.
And Riffa trying to look for a perfect at this stage against Sheddy. Are you mad? It looks like that might actually happen. Sheddy is in critical condition. Go on, get a poke in. Deny Riffa a perfect. You can do it. Oh my.
Kablammer, please stop. What is this Kablammer doing? That's not going to be a shield break. Oh,
it is. It absolutely is.
That was Shady trying to dodge out of the way. And they're going to dodge right into a perfect for Riffa.
Oh, Riffa, of course you had to do that. And the reigning champion will have to go into the underground final. Riffa is back in the grand final.
That's a pretty nice throne you're sitting on there, Riffa. Does it seem familiar? Because you've been there like almost 24 times now.
Well, let's see. The actual stats say, let's see, 22 plus 3, which is 25. I'm pretty sure they finished third once as well, that one time. Yeah, so 26. So this is their 27th time in the Scrapstar Grand Final.
And it looks like we're going to be going to DNA Lab for the next one. Both of these players already so generously have set things up.
Oh my word, this is going to be a match and a half. Aloria haven't beaten Riffa, not Riffa, wow, I'm being really bad. Aloria beat Yam.
Riffa is in grand finals as well as also just got knocked out of the tournament. I have some terrible news for all of you. Wait, everybody in this rack is actually Riffa.
No.
We still need that tournament, by the way.
Riffa, congratulations, you won. Riffa, what the hell happened? You came last.
Tamashi, don't forget, DNA Lab.
Thank you very much. Alright, DNA Lab. It is the underground semi-finals. It is Replicant versus Aloria. Replicant knocking Yam out 2 points to 0, so no top 3 for Yam this time around. And Aloria besting Yoshi as well. So, commiserations to Yoshi, but that's again just how it goes. So, Replicant Aloria. And look at them all, they're so excited.
So much energy, so much hype.
Okie dokie, let me just get this switched over. I do apologize, just slightly running behind there. But we got now, we good. So, Aloria, Min, Roaster on the Dragon Arm, and a Chakram on the side. Replicant! Well, we're gonna see more missiles, so I hope you like explosions. Okay, it's gonna be a pretty tasty match. Obviously, this will be the last best of 3 of the series tonight. After this, it'll be best of 5s all the way, and Aloria is going to get caught by another Tribolt. It's always great when you see these two just come to a stage like DNA Lab. Every single time we go to DNA Lab, one of the players will just dance around the tubes for as much as possible, and Aloria is going to pin Replicant in front of one of them with a nice tasty 325 rush. And finally, tube does break. Replicant gets the stun in midair, isn't able to get anything else, so no rush just yet from Rep. As Aloria slowly charges their way back up, gets another charge Chakram, and a charged up Roaster, sends Replicant into critical. Aloria is doing a fine job here.
Aloria just... Oh, that's gonna be the kill!
Yeah, it is. I thought Aloria had hit the floor, but they hadn't hit it just yet. In the nick of time, another hit comes up, keeps them in the air, and that is going to be the KO. Just like that. And Aloria...
Oh, and we've got ourselves even more explosives in the field. Replicant bringing out the nade. You thought you had enough explosions? Well, you've got more. And we're going to be starting off with a huge blast as 455 damage off of that Chakram connected with the homie. And now Replicant in a very disadvantaged place.
Yeah, but every single charge explosion that directly hits an Aloria will start putting them straight back into contention, especially with the rush not too far away on Replicant's side. But it's nice that Lawyer has the strap because it at least will try to curve around the nade. But again, still has to be very wary of that homie. And here comes the rush, but Aloy is going to be able to avoid it this time round. Waits for the explosion to settle before finally committing to everything else. He's just perfectly in the middle of a curved approach there.
Sometimes you see that, you're like, alright, I'll lose all my health if this connects, so I'm just gonna wait for you to finish. Counterplay is great, but so is not dying.
Yeah. Sometimes.
And considering the just playing it smart and safe has given Aloria a chance to still be alive here, I think it was worth it.
Yeah. Sometimes the right action is to not play. That's going to be a big time grab. Yeah, 10 seconds to go. Immediately goes to the other side of the stage. And now they need to keep Replicant as far away from them as possible. Oh, they should still take it. If they don't get hit, they won't get hit. And we're going to go into the third point in this.
That explosion was calculated. Actually, that was a really fortunate one because it just meant that there were less up. Because Aloria was in the air like that, I think Replicant could have gone for a punish and got something to connect if it wasn't for the fact that the explosion immediately shot Aloria onto the ground and got to spend like a second or so just waking up again.
And that explosion will connect. I thought there was a slight hesitation there, but 280 will do for the time being. Replicant now coming out with a tripod. And Aloy with that roaster switching out their curved approach.
A nice backflip deflect there. Aloria just barely holding onto a lead, only to have it now taken away. That rush is still slowly charging up. And a nice chance to get that grab. And immediately now it's Rifa who's Replicant backed into the corner. But Aloria doesn't want to get too close right now, just trying to play a safe zoning game.
They are in KO range though, so they'll have to be careful. If Replicant can throw out one big time rush, they'll know they'll take it. Now all this pressure so far.
That could have been it.
Oh no, Aloria!
Hard denial, just.
The second Aloria went for that rush, you just knew the missile was too close.
Just a bit too far and a bit too close. Actually, I don't think Aloria could have parried that at all.
No.
Just because that angle was too high. You saw I was looking down at Aloria, and Aloria's like, I can punch it, I can punch it, I can punch it, and it just kind of fell on you.
Narrator voice, they didn't punch it.
That's one of those moments where it's like, you activate Rush, and it just pauses, it's like, we'll be right back. or what's that show that they like to make the reference of like, hi, you're probably wondering how I got here.
Yo, that's the, yeah, that, it's like,
It looks like we're going to be going to Scrapyard for the next bout.
Are we? Is Discord not
Yes.
Discord is not updated for me, so that's helpful.
Fortunately, I am updating.
Yay! So
For you.
So, oh, thank you. So Scrapyard, you said, right? Please tell me you said that was
That is
correct.
correct.
Yeah, okay, good. Alright, so we're going to continue on with the semi-final. Yeah, my Discord has just stopped updating. I don't know what they're doing.
Wait, no, they said Spring Stadium. We're going to have to rage quit everything. They're actually really mad at us. Christmas is ruined.
No, don't say that.
Rip Christmas.
Merry
Heading into the next round, Replicant bringing back the Ebola Pop. We've got that Scully, we've got that Glusher in. Some fierce pressure that can come out of this. It's also, that heavy arm can definitely help out. If you get the timing, the angles right, you can kind of power through a Dragon Arm Chakram. So far, though, he's not having much luck with that.
No, not at all. It was actually quite nice just to see them just go to the high ground and just throw the cushion down, because the cushion could take so long to just go actually and hit the floor. But they're gonna commit to that rush. Pokes around the yeah, you weren't gonna hit anything with that gusher. You're gonna have to hit it a couple more times. There you go.
He's actually really lucky. He's like stupid lucky. The Glusher kind of just had a weird interaction with the pillar and just moved on with its life. I'm pretty sure what was supposed to happen there is that the Glusher would again.
That Scully is being mean tonight.
Did you see that Glusher? Replicant just like, he really likes just having things arc into Aloria's face as Aloria's throwing out a rush.
Well, Replicant
Just like,
is...
no, you don't get a rush. I have things above you. Aloria thinks they have the high ground, but then something just randomly happens to have the high ground instead.
And that is going to be a KO. Gusher just blows up at their feet. And the Replicant starting this off strongly here. Aloria is going to have to do something pretty special if they are to deny Replicant a top 3 finish.
And if that happens, we're going to be having, if I don't know, whoever makes it to the next bout, the lower finals, these are just big fights. This is stuff you're probably going to see in the Invitational, honestly. Like, these players are just so solid. Might see more of these two later on.
Well, so far, Aloria coming back at them with quite some, wow, some pretty nice moves. Yeah, Chakram stun into a grab. Beautiful timing there, well placed for it. And it's going to get greeted by a quick double poison stack.
Parasol doing a massive service for Aloria as well. All the times that it has safely parried down Scully's grabs and just whatever else that you name. It's been doing some good work for Aloria. Still a little bit behind. Just needs a little bit more of an opportunity. A good rush or a Dragon Arm charge can definitely put them back in the game. A nice call out with the rush, and it's gonna work out for Aloria. 290 damage.
That was nicely done. You just saw the Chakram just curve straight in. Replicant had no answer for it. And Aloria once again gonna get poisoned, and again here with the Gusher. Just can't quite fight the poke that they're after with 20 seconds to go.
Those poison stutters just slowly making Aloria's life so much more difficult. They're only a couple of hits away from getting KO'd, but so is Replicant, and a nice Chakram is going to be able to close things out there.
Yeah.
Score now, 1-1.
Yep, it was nice to see Aloria not back away like they did last time around in DNA Lab. They committed. They were going in for that KO, or they were not getting it at all.
Actually, there were a couple of really important commitments that Aloria made, just like that one interaction we saw. And then the rush interaction where Aloria immediately threw out the rush. And if they didn't start dash and throw out those punches as soon as they did, I'm pretty sure Replicants would have beat them out.
Oh yeah. And Aloria is unfortunately...
Speaking of getting beat out...
Yeah. There was nothing Aloria could have done there, unfortunately. They had the weakened arm. It was going to be a shield break whatever happened, so... It was pretty much nothing but damage for Aloria there, but does manage to come back with a rush of their own and has actually swung the advantage back into their favour. Another Chakram hit in midair.
This Parasol Chakram loadout just works so well for Aloria. Allows them to really cover their ground, keep them nice and safe, and then Chakram just coming in from all which angles and just chomping down on Replicant's life meter.
Yeah, 40 seconds to go. Replicant is pretty much a poke away. Arm is down, and Aloria gets the KO. And hey, guess what, my friends? It's another third match in a best-of-3 set. Wow, the competition tonight is being nothing but fierce. This is impressive. All right, this is awesome.
Awesome is a very accurate word for what's going on right now. This is some intense matches. Aloria making some incredible plays. Huge shout out to that loadout. The Parasol Chakram, just a really good dynamic duo on Min Min. And is just allowing Aloria to get some exceptional plays and pressure.
Okay, I think I understand why my Discord wasn't updating, because they weren't posting it in Meetinol.
Ah, yes.
That's
they're talking in Arena 1.
That's why I was getting so confused. It's like, alright. Alright.
What's going on here?
So Temple Grounds is where we're going. Replicant put Temple, I think. It's like, you think? It's yes or no, Replicant.
This is a multiple choice question. Pick which stage. I'm gonna put a question mark by this one and leave it at that.
Because that's your final answer.
Is it your final answer? Maybe.
Would you like to phone a friend?
I would. Tamashi, which answer?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's go up. Let's work with that and move into Temple Grounds, where Replicant's going to start off with some advantage. That charged popper slipping by these attacks and is able to get a charged hit in, keeping Replicant at a light health advantage.
Lawyer trying to get any kind of poke with the shotgun, but the pillars are going to be quickly brought down. Not as quick as how Shetty did, but brought down nonetheless.
Pretty sure it was actually causing Aloria a little more trouble than it was worth. Just because it was that giant chakram just could not work around those pillars. Now that they're gone, it's much more open space. That quick trade almost worked out for Replicant, but because Aloria has heavier, more vicious arms, can more consistently just pummel down Replicant's attacks. And now is holding on to a light health lead and continuing to trample with that Chakram Dragon arm.
Yeah, there was a couple pokes where they had some missed opportunities there. They were getting a good consistent rhythm with the Chakram Stuns, but unfortunately missed one of the roaster pokes, which is unfortunate. But they are so quick up on the rush charge that, yeah, they're just going to rush with, no fear whatsoever. Takes the KO, and Aloria is leading here.
Replicant recognizing he cannot be going into this field with any kind of weight disadvantage, as Aloria is just capitalizing on it so hard, so determined and just confident in these exchanges. The Parasol definitely going to allow Aloria to have a bit of a weight advantage still here, just because of how effective the Parasol is in deflecting and parrying attacks. Not going to get a knockout there, but does get a light amount of damage.
Yeah, got the clip, but Aloria thankfully managed to just shimmy to that side and get the shield up for the rest of it. On weak on that left hand side, but it's starting to slowly fade away, and Aloria now with a rush, but past 50%. Needs to be a little careful here. Needs to pick their time to commit, but unfortunately the chucked hits.
Not able to bring out the rush in time off of that exchange. Gonna find a nice opportunity to get that Dragon Arm back with a grab. And his second one. Starting to mix things up. Replicant a little too comfortable not having to fight against those grabs. And now Aloria just giving him this really hard time.
Oh my god, and a third grab. Aloria just... These grabs are coming out in a way that I think Replicant was not expecting. Gets a charged roaster hit as well, and Aloria's right back in this. Can they avoid the rush? They can. Replicant realizes they're at a bit of a disadvantage. 20 seconds to go. Can Aloria pull this off?
They just need one charged hit. One charged roaster. That Dragon Arm is looking hungry.
And there it is!
And it's gonna be able to connect.
The roaster hits through. Replicant does not make top 3. Aloria does. Aloria makes it to Underground Final and knocks Replicant out with a 2-0 in that third point. Wow, who would have had that one on the cards? That is unbelievable.
It's quite the upset. Are you upset?
Oh, far from it. That's.
Because I'm pretty sure the bracket's pretty upset right now.
Oh, we do not get Shetty versus Replicant.
I mean, granted, that means that instead we're going to be taking Shady versus Aloria, which is still a really good match and is probably going to be exceptionally exciting. I will also note to everybody here that shoutouts to Battlefy for supplying a couple of nice little rewards. We've got their Strong Boxes, which are their little custom appearance for their avatars. 10 will be going to first place, 5 to second, and 3 will be going to third. So our top 3 participants will be getting a nice little prize. A lot of huge shout out to them for supporting the scene, helping out with things here and there, putting these events on the front page sometimes with staff picks, and just
That's really nice.
Battlefy has been doing a good job supporting, and don't be sure to support them. The more they hear that the more support they get from us because of this, the more they'll support us, and the better things will get just going on down that road.
Wow. Let me try that again. Helping you help us all. There we go. That was the borderline I was after.
Yes.
Dear me. AFK for 2 minutes from Aloy, so it just gives us a chance to have a slight bit of a breather ourselves. If you're not staying hydrated, this would be a good time to get yourself a drink.
Hydrate hype.
Ugh, needed that though. It also means that we do actually have ourselves in a position where, obviously, Shetty is the reigning champion. They're trying to win their 8th title, trying to win this for the 3rd week in a row. But Aloy has made it to top 3 again. And remember, Aloy has not won a Scrapstar series yet. And hasn't made it to the grand final yet either. So, yeah.
This would be a very exciting one to watch Aloria take, though. As we've got Aloria's next 2 opponents would have to be Shady, who has won 7 times now, and Rifa, who has won 22 and is looking for his 23rd.
Yeah.
The two competitors who have most consistently taken these brackets are currently in the top 2, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say between Shetty and Rifa, they have won 27. No,
29.
2 plus 7. Thank you, 29. They have won 29 of the Scrapstar series. So some big names to beat for Aloria. But if anyone can do it on the form that they've been showing recently, it's Aloria.
That Chakram Parasol has just been doing a solid job, and a nice mix-up having the roasters available as well. It's a steady loadout. And a lot of people honestly would not expect the Parasol, but much like the reason why I use the Funchuck, it is one of the stronger arms in this game defensively. Did we agree on the stage?
Yeah, it was in their lap.
Okay, cool. I completely missed that. But yeah, it's generally one of the better arms because of how good it is defensively. Whenever a Parasol deflects or parries with another arm, the closer it is to the wielder, the faster it retracts. Up to a point where it will literally instantly retract if it's like body length from the character. So like if Shady's throwing out these punches and they're right in Aloria's face and they parry it, that means that Aloria immediately gets to throw out another Parasol, which in midway interactions, like the ones we're seeing in so many of these matches now, it really comes through and it really shines out.
And it's going to be Aloria who did take an initial advantage, got a very cheeky charged roaster hit on the get-go. And it's going to slip this healthily back onto Evil Fulton, gets a nice hit with the Chakram, and follows in with a grab through one of the tubes. And Shetty on the cusp of going into critical already. And rush commitment from Aloria. This should KO. No, it doesn't. 1 HP
Wrong
pretty much.
finishing touch. But I think this is going to work out a bit better for Aloria because they got to take away Shady's rush as a result. Now they've just got to make sure to take Shady out.
And that should do it. The second the arm went down, all Aloria needed to do was just pretty much throw both of them out. One of them was going to hit. And that was the KO they were after. Shady's going to bring out a Burchuck now.
Burchuck can be a pretty good tool, but Aloria's already played pretty well against that Burchuck. We'll have to see how this plays out. We do not have the Parasol out yet, so maybe Shetty will be able to more effectively parry out Aloria's attacks than Replicant was.
Well, we'll see if
They're ready up with the rush, and out comes it. Shady's safe and ready. Not going to have any issues just blocking it out.
Yeah, unfortunately just a little bit too early for Aloria there, Shetty. Just hold on to that shield knowing full well it was probably coming. Now with a rush off their own, ready to go. 2 tubes left up to dance around. And Aloria does get another charged up roaster hit and gets that Chakram back up and running.
Shady finally able to force Aloria out away from the pillar. Now starting to try to close in that distance, get Aloria stuck behind a wall and just forced with no options.
And here comes the rush, but it's not going to connect. Aloria does get the shield up. Arm weak on that right hand side though, if Shady can find a way of knocking it out, but it's not going to happen because a rush is going to come out from Aloria, and this one is going to connect. 305 damage and gives them a nice health lead, but Shady's charging that back through with another charged up roaster and another Let's quickly slice that health down with 20 seconds to go. Chakram just about parried out of the sky there. 10 seconds to go. Shetty gets a grab. They're looking for one more grab or one more charged roast to hit. That's all they need to take the lead. Chakram just about misses. 2 seconds, 1 second. Shetty needs to make it count but can't swing it out in time. And Aloria is going to take the initiative in the Underground Final. Leads the set by 1 point to 0 after a 2-0 win.
And that was just close in those few exchanges. Like, Aloria literally was just like, alright, now I literally can't get hit for 10 seconds. Couldn't find a way to knock Shady down in those moments, but fortunately was able to make sure they didn't get knocked down either.
Yeah, you see the amount of pressure that Shady was putting them under, just trying to get that last hit. Just looking for that one slight lack in concentration where maybe Min Min would have fallen right into the path one of those, but not to be this time round. So Aloria will lead the set 1 point to 0. Remember, this is best of 5 now, all the way to the finish. And, you know, it's always hard to come back from that first point. Like, you get that first point and you're like, okay, I can do this, now I need to find a way of moving forward. But somebody like Shady will realise what they're doing wrong and will try to switch it up. So, will this be an opportunity for Shady to bring out Ribbon Girl, you think?
I feel, maybe? I actually kind of feel like the Twin Tail, again, this is something where I'm making a call. I think the Twin Tail would fare better, just as Shady would have a much more safer and consistent tempo. A Ribbon Girl might just get smothered out by the Chakram, by that Parasol. Just a lot of large body arms just chasing down a Ribbon Girl is... at least from my personal experience, it is not easy for them to be able to fight back against that.
And Shady finally deciding to take us back to Temple Grounds. We've seen this a lot tonight, haven't we? It's like normally it's been like Mausoleum or Buster, but no, tonight it's Temple Grounds tonight.
Everybody's in the mood to perform a couple of ritualistic dances, honor the great Masanga, and worship the greatness that which has been bestowed upon all of these players, the Arms Gene. We're all very thankful of it.
If you wanted to praise Masango, you would actually play Masango.
I mean, that would be Masango doing worshipping then, which he's already, like, he's fully ascended. These are other players and characters. They're paying homage as well. They're allowed to pay homage without having to be Masango.
This is true. This is fair. And Shady's going to start us off with a grab. Going in a Thunderbird, and the Lawyer falls foul to it, but Shady did not take advantage of it.
Instead, Lawyer's going to be able to take advantage of a swift opportunity created. He gets that Dragon Arm charged up. The Chakram, now a fierce beast, chasing down Shady and just eating away at that shield.
Yeah, it's just like arm weak consistently on that right-hand side. But Shady's finally going to get a chance to sort of like have a little bit of breathing space. Gets another grab, but again falls foul to another stun, and it's their turn to go flying. 2 pillars left. Shady hits one of the pillars and then realizes, actually, you know what? Aloria is not giving me the chance to break these. They're gonna have to go for it.
Another one?
Aloria is being incredible with these Chakram hits, but it's gonna fall foul to the rush in the end. 280 sends them into the corner, but does have Shady and KO range, but it's not gonna happen. No! Does actually come through with 160. I think Shady tried to avoid, but unfortunately took it all, and is gonna get punished big time for it. Collapses in a heap, and that's another point in the favor of Aloria here. I think Shady got a little bit too greedy there. Well, in either case, the Chakrams are going to be trading left and right. Pretty much going for an identical loadout here, actually. Both running the Chakram roaster setup. The obvious difference is that Aloria is going to have a Chakram permanently charged up. Well, not anymore. Thrown through that pillar. And Shady finding a way back into this match. Forcing Min Min into that corner. Seeing if they can chain in some 1-2 hits. And gets another grab. Sends Aloria back towards the center. Rush available. Commits to it and scores big time. Puts them right back into this match. Aloria into critical.
Oh. Shady trying to wait out for the rush, but it's gonna finally work out for Aloria, who now has the KO, but they go again for the Chakram!
All they needed to do was hit, but they still got it anyway. The chakram was big enough, it just about clipped. And a sigh of relief for Aloria here. Aloria leads against the reigning champion 2 points to 0 and is looking for a win that will send ripples through the Scrapstar series and the EU scene in one fell swoop.
If it happens, like a clean 3, imagine a clean 3-0 against this too. But then we do have to keep in mind that Aloria would have to face off again in another rematch with Rifa. This one didn't work out too well for them. Once they tried to start cornering Rifa out, he's just like, oh, you're trying to corner me. Here's a clapback. You corner yourself now, okay?
Well, we're going to get through this first to see if Aloria can do it. They lead Sheddy by 2 points to 0 and is looking for one more win. Sheddy gonna come in with the same arm setup. Chakram, Rooster and Aloria gonna stick with it too. And it's Sheddy who gets the first bite of this match. Aloria able to get one Rooster poke but couldn't get the other. Managed to jump past a grab attempt, just missing with one of their own, and Sheddy starting off a lot better in this point.
Both of these players just constantly going back and forth. Shady just finding light trades in their favor. And slowly, or actually rather rapidly, but it's just like in a very violent, fierce motion, is just building this deeper and deeper lead and is going to be able to take this round. Just wants to start with some advantage so that they might be able to turn the tides in their favor and start this full reverse swing that they need.
Yep, they're going to stick with what works, and Aloria is going to bring out a brawler. So no chakra now, and immediately
we'll have to
hits
see
with
if
the
We'll have to see if the Aerosol is going to work out, utilize those parry functionalities. But so far, Shady's able just to get the jump on these, and is going to be able to get some really good punishes, and holds a good lead up until that rush exchange.
Yep, 340 now for Aloria. Aloria just missing the grab attempt from Sheddy there, and forces Sheddy back into that corner with another roaster hit, and now has a lead in their favor. Is going to get caught with the chakram though, and sent flying, but Aloria is pretty much on par with Rush Charge actually here.
And again, both players just trading with all these little blows, these small little hits here and there. Shady's starting to get more control, more tempo though, and this rush is ready. A safe block is going to feed Aloria the rush, but a shield break is going to prevent Aloria from even having the chance. And that's going to be Shady's first win in this bout.
Yep, Sheddy finally gets the point back. It's 2-1. Can Sheddy do the reverse sweep and ruin Aloria's goal yet again? Or is Aloria going to be able to collect themselves, pick a stage that can favor them, and still give us the upset? Well, we're going to find out. Sheddy needs to ban 2 stages first, but that was exactly what Sheddy needed. That first point was just clinical, just not allowing Aloria a chance to really even charge up or get into the fight. And then that second point, yeah, Aloria really started coming back into it, definitely scaring Sheddy a bit, but once Sheddy got those stuns, got Min Min back into that corner, it finally came back to Sheddy's advantage. So we'll see where we go from here. But Vio and Buster are the bans this time. And guess what? We go to DNA Lab.
Yo.
So Aloria is ready to go. Will Sheddy switch? No, they will not. We're going to see Min Min versus Twintel again. But what? So we're going to see. Now, bearing in mind the Chakram Roaster definitely was starting to work for Sheddy there. It looks like they're going to keep with it. Is Min Min bringing in a missile? Not just yet. It's in the loadout. It's in the back. But we're going to see that Roaster Chakram. So again, another Ditto arm match.
I'll have to see if the homie comes in, but yeah, right now, 2 good Chakram hits is going to set Aloria up with some nice tempo, a light lead. Another followed up by a grab confirm, and Shady already just a bit above 50% health. That is the power of a charged up Chakram. Couple of nice grab confirms can easily do.
Yep. Shady finally gets one of their own. You just saw like every now and then where Aloria can just force Twin Tail against one of the tubes, and that's when you generally see the stuns coming out from Aloria. It's going to get a charged roaster hit, sends Shady down past 50, gets another chakram hit, but had already committed to the roaster, so no grab punishes that. This is with another grab, forces Shady to move, and both hit each other there. Shady is into critical, but it keeps them in this match. Another direct roaster poke, both with rush available. And Aloria's going to bat first, that should be, yep, that is the KO. Shady will start the next point with rush already available, but crucially for Aloria, this is set point. And
they're gonna start the set point with an impressive grab confirm. Shady immediately. This rush is only gonna balance things out. Oh, Aloria went for the perfect shield and is gonna end up getting punished out for it.
Yeah, Shady thankfully missing with that roaster, so Aloria is not gonna get punished further from it. Both on now similar health and just dancing around the tubes, and it's the roaster that hits before Shady's chakram can land. And another successful stun that's gonna get them into the grab, and Shady is on the cusp of going into critical. Aloria nearly has rush available, sends Shady into crit. Can this be the moment that books Aloria to grand final for the first time ever? Not yet though, another stun grab. Aloria looking for
the Dragon Arm. Out comes the rush, and Shady gonna safely block it. Gets that rush charged up as well. Tempo is now on Shady's end, but they cannot get touched by anything.
Yeah, I don't think Aloria is in KO range just yet either, so Shady has to time this to perfection. That is now in KO range, and here it comes, but it's going to be blocked by Aloria. I don't think it will shield break, so Aloria is just looking for one poke. They just cannot afford to get hit. Oh, they have gotten hit, but they still have the lead, but now, no more pokes, it's a KO! Shady survives. Just a comeback and a half from Shady. They turn it around, and Aloria's gonna bring out a missile. And Shady's gonna start with a 1-2 hit into the grab. Aloria going big or going home, gets the stun, and it's gonna start off with a successful grab confirm. At what point will they decide to try and drop the missile onto Shady? Gonna get the stun into another grab, successfully ping Shady past the halfway mark.
This is KO range.
Don't say that.
This is KO range. Oh, that's gonna be a nice rush though for Shady. I think especially if Aloria gets a chakram confirm, that it's just a KO. Shady has to be careful. And you can tell Shady is terrified of anything happening right now. That shield is slowly getting chipped down. That could have been it.
That honestly could, if Aloria could have committed. They're incredibly close, so they need to not get caught in their own explosion. But that stun is going to successfully confirm. And Aloria is in a very sticky situation. Has to commit to the rush, hits with it, but is not going to get the KO. 245. It is neck and neck with 30 seconds to go. Shady has rush, and you know they're going to start closing that gap in just a little bit more now. Aloria has a slight health lead. 20 seconds, here comes the rush. It is going to be blocked, but the chip damage will put Aloria down past Shady. They're looking for just a poke. Shield is down, and Shady is going to tie up the set. It's 2 apiece. Oh.
You know Aloria is feeling the pressure here, feeling the fear, because they were like, I'm so close to this. And they were so tensed up, so excited for it, that they had like 3 confirms, 3 opportunities. And there were probably even more that I didn't even see, but Aloria just could not go for them. They were so worried, so terrified of the idea of losing it. I've talked about this before. Aloria still is in this, but it's so easy for you to get so caught up in the motion, in that feeling, that you forget what you need to do to win. You forget your win plan, and you just flop. And Shady gonna ban DNA line. We're not seeing that again.
Yeah.
We're not seeing that place again.
Yeah, Shady.
Aloria's gonna have to pull something out elsewhere.
And that somewhere is via Dulce. We're gonna get a counter pick. The last match of the Underground Final. was gonna take us to Viadults. Jesus Christ. Oh. Shetty is giving Aloria everything they've got here. Oh, I don't know. How are we chalking this one, believe? So Shetty's putting Discord ban and DNA and Buster. Aloria picked Via and Shetty meant, and Shetty immediately follows up with, oh, I meant Via. You have to
I'm just gonna make the rule.
You have to be so careful when writing into Discord.
If Shady was able to make the correction before Aloria picked, I would have been fine. But it's the fact that Aloria was so on top and just was ready for that opportunity. We're gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick with that. There was not enough. Shady could not correct themselves in time, and Aloria made the pick.
That's. Oh wow. Well, we're gonna see if this comes to bite Shetty. Aloria is gonna come in with a kablammer of all things at this stage and a Shakram. And Shetty coming in with what's been working the Shetty and Roaster combination. Can Aloria pull anything out of this? Already forced into that corner themselves. They'll need to find a way out of it, and so far not succeeding.
This stage is a double-edged blade. You can go in with the intention of cornering and pinning your foe down, but your opponent can just as easily get you pinned down, block you out into the corner. Right now, Aloria is struggling to find some space. That is a shield breaker, and it's going to be a safe connection as Aloria desperately tries to claw their way out.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening at all. The arm is going to do down on the left-hand side, and well, Shetty doesn't need to worry at all anymore, really. Gets the first point in the bag, and Aloria is going to think about ditching that kablammer. Still thinking about it.
What are we going with?
Rolling the dice
There it
big
is.
time round, and it is going to decide to commit to the Shakram Roaster. Gets the Dragon Arm up and needs to fight their way back into the middle ASAP. They cannot allow Shetty to corner them again, but it looks like they're going to allow them to do the same thing again, and that's exactly what's happening.
Chakram should help out a little bit more alongside that Roaster, but Shady just keeping up this tempo, getting some good pressure, already has Aloria lower than 50% health, and is just keeping this tempo going, does not want to give Aloria even the slightest breathing room, because they know Aloria will do just the same to them.
Aloria is still somehow in this match, but now in KO range, and Shetty is going to commit to it, and that is that. Shetty wins. After all of that, Shetty wins with a near perfect, and the reigning champion does the reverse sweep, and Aloria still cannot break grand finals.
Just one too many bad calls in DNA Lab. Via Dulce just really blew up in their face there. Though, just the most anticlimactic and unfortunate of endings there, as Shady's just like, alright, well, I guess we're going to Via Dulce. I'm going to have to just force Aloria to not do anything. Because as soon as Aloria starts doing literally anything there, it's like game over. So Shady was just like, I have to keep this pressure going. And got two very clean sweeps. But that doesn't really tell all the story, because of just like, if Aloria literally got any tempo, it could have very easily turned around. Angry, exciting tapping.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So it does mean that Shetty does make it through to grand final, and it will be either an 8th title reign or a 23rd. It's as simple as that.
Who are you gonna bet on? Don't answer that. We're not allowed to pick a side.
Alright.
I'd honestly be down to see either end go. I know Shady has it in them to be able to take Rippa down, but I also know Rippa has it in him to just not lose.
Well, Riffa has been...
He's very well known for doing that.
You don't say. Well, I mean, if Shetty wants to close that gap to the amount of title wins that Riffa has, well, now's the best time to get that win in, because you're literally all that stands between Riffa adding another belt to their collection.
More than half of the Scrapstars in the EU right now are owned by Riffa. Well, just almost more than half. If Riffa wins this, then he will have more than half. He only needs 3 sets. Shady has to claim 6.
Yeah, Shetty has to do pretty much what they did against Aloria, but twice.
They do have a loadout that's capable of doing that, though. Chakram, Toaster, and Tribolt. All really good picks against Ninjara. That said, this is also Riffa, who... sometimes things just don't work out for you if you're not careful.
That is exactly...
Start off with some good play. Shady trying to close that distance. But, yeah, Riffa immediately just telling Shady to back off. Pushing them, shotting them down with all these little bolts and bullets.
Yeah, you realize that Shetty has been playing with the Chakram Rooster for like the past 3 sets, just purely on the basis that they were consistently being taken down by Aloria with that. Now they're taking this combo into Riffa, who is just demolishing this set. So it looks like Shetty might have to switch up a couple of alarms if they want to bounce this back, because Riffa is on the way to a perfect. Yeah.
We'll just start off the grand finals with a perfect. Why don't we? Why don't we?
Well, I mean, we ended the winners final in pretty much the same way. We ended it with a perfect from Riffa, but it's not gonna happen.
Thank you.
Shetty finally gets a grab in, and oh, don't you dare start doing a comeback now with 35 seconds to go. That would be outrageous.
Starting to close in that tempo. There's less pillars for Riffa to hide behind. Only 1 left, and I don't think it has much health to it either.
Yeah, see it all
Shady holding on to that rush is, I believe, holding on to it just as a way to punch through Riffa's if he chooses to go through it, but I think they might need to utilize it just to turn the tempo if they want to take this round. There's not enough time though, and that dragon is going to close things out.
Yep. The dragon not going to wait for that timer, it just goes rah, and Twintel cannot handle it. And both are going to start with rush available to them. Shetty is going to ditch the Shack Ramp for that Tribolt, but immediately gets caught out by another Ice Dragon poke.
Now comes the rush. Shady recognizing their chance, their moment of the spotlight, and that rush punish setup that we have been waiting for since these two first got their rush in the last round finally comes out. And with it, Shady's going to get that advantage.
Yep, Tribolt into a grab, sends Riffa on the cusp of crit. Not going to get the grab on that occasion, but look at the health lead that they've got. Significantly better position than they were at the start of the set. But Riffa not exactly out of this yet, putting up a lot of pressure with the Ice Dragon, but Shady finally getting the shield up in time for them. Gets another hit with that roaster. Actually kind of forced that Tri-Blast to explode, just self-destruct on Riffa.
Oh, and the confirm into rush! Desperately wanted that round, was gonna go for it, ended up taking it as a result, but that also means now Shady has no rush. Riffa's got one waiting. He could just start off with 300, 400 damage advantage.
Just depends on how Shady reacts first, but it's actually going to get the bolt hit first. And Riffa's going to get caught up by another one. So, needs to figure out when to actually go for it. Because Shady has their number so far, but finally going to go down to the dragon.
Out comes the rush, and Shady going to walk right into that one, trying to dodge out of the way. 380 damage in. Shady halfway to building up their next rush. Riffa is quickly building up another one of his own, and it's just, now that he's got that tempo, he got that space, Shady has to fight their way back in, and it is not working out very well for them.
Shady is running out of time fast, goes for the rush, but it's not going to connect. Riffa straight back into the corner, just needs one more poke. He even has the rush if they want to finish it off that way, but Shady is going to block it. And not going to drop the barrier anytime soon. Gets a stun, gets a grab. Still very much in this. I'm going to see a surprise from Shetty of a last-ditch comeback out of nowhere. The bolt is still flying. Riffa just still looking for that poke.
30 seconds left on the clock. It is very possible. You can tell Shady is being extremely patient here, just fully capitalizing on that actress aura, trying to slow everything down, looking for these perfect moments. Riffa going to be able to safely evade most of that, but back into the corner, that teleport's not going to be able to work out.
And a good...
Too determined for that grab, though.
Yeah, it was a very good call from Riffa. Saw it coming, bounced straight above it. And that blast was only going to connect. And Riffa will finally take that point. Had to really fight for that, though. Shetty was not giving that up anytime soon. So it's Riffa who starts with the advantage. And we're going to go straight back to Temple Grounds. No two ways around it. And Shetty gonna stick with Twintail. Riffa naturally sticking with Ninjara. It is serious time here, and you can tell.
Super serious. Look at all the seriousness. All of it. You can smell it. I'm not doing a good job of describing it, but it is very much there, unlike with me and my professionalism.
The seriousness is so serious it will slap you in the face and send you across the arena.
Send you flying and spinning through the air just like that.
Yeah, that timing was perfect. Please do that again. Oh, thank you!
Shout out to Riffa for giving us two beautiful spinning, flying through the air moments.
Clip that. Someone clip that. Riffa will start off with a rush already as well. Shetty not quite on the charge. And so far, the blasts and the slaps are really catching Shetty off guard. And just when you think that, just when you have that kind of momentum going, when you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing, Riffa just switches one arm and throws that completely out the window. Arm weak on the right hand side, and that's the arm down there. And again, Riffa just looking for a poke to really finish Shetty off now.
And he hasn't been hit yet. Literally untouched right now. This man is just going to go for the perfect, and he's going to take it.
You know, we haven't had that many perfects in the Scrapstar series as of late, so the fact that Riffa comes in and gives us 2 in one night just basically tells you everything.
Almost got a third, too.
If it wasn't for that meddling grab.
Oh, it was a good grab, though. And this is going to be a good rush. Shady getting 355 damage.
Riffa still yet to use theirs, and here it comes now. 190 damage, sends Shetty right to the corner. I gotta dance through those 2 pillars. Well, make that 1 pillar now. But interesting note, the Shetty has brought out the Chakram now.
Trying it out again, but so far it is working out actually a little bit better than just that previous round. Though Shady's still struggling to keep up with this tempo, this pressure, as Shady is now a critical and can only take a couple more hits.
And that's KO.
Or a rush.
Yeah, the rush will definitely KO, and Riffa is 2-0 up in the grand final. If Riffa wins this next set, then Shetty's title reign will be over. There will not be a 3 weeks in a row. So Shetty really does now have to pull out what they did against Aloya and do the reverse sweep. Otherwise, it is Riffa's again in another 3-0 set. Same bands. You're waiting for it, aren't you?
Riffa's one of those players. Riffa's one of those players. Like, if you are not, if you have a break from him and then you play against him again, he will blindside you. His playstyle, the way he approaches, if you are not perfect, very well tuned, very well approached and set up to try to counterplay it, he can be just really frustrating to handle because he's constantly sneaking out of your attacks. It's a matchup most players aren't very used to. With the only Ninjara that, like, there's barely ever been any Ninjara players in the ARM scene. Riffa being one of the few that's actually consistently been around from the start to this point. And so you only really get experience with him, and when your only experience is with Riffa, sometimes it just means that you're gonna have a bad time.
I will not sing Megalovania this time.
Please don't.
I will not. Instead, Shetty...
Excellent.
That's fine. Shetty is going to switch from Tinsel to Ribbon Girl. Going to bring in the Burchuck to try and contest this Ninjara, who's going to go straight back to an Ice Dragon setup. And grab just missing on Shetty's side. He's going to hit with the Roaster. And already, this is working just a little bit more better than Twin Tail. That kind of mobility is kind of what Shetty needs, because it's definitely keeping Riffa a little bit more on edge here. It's still falling foul to the bolts though.
This ribbon did work pretty well against the Triblast Ice Dragon previously when these two had a bout. So far, this is actually a little bit more in Riffa's favor right now. But Shady has been able to make this work and is going to start with that tempo. Just looking for a nice little opportunity to try to close things in and confirm that much more damage.
Yeah, both on much similar kind of health, both with Rush available. Dragon is going to continue to miss. Like, Shetty's mobility is definitely making that Dragon a little bit more moot. No sooner have I said that, gets caught up with the Ice Dragon and I have to block through the rest of it. Riffa didn't decide to go for a grab there. And he's going to find
Definitely worried
himself...
that Rush could have just punished Riffa right out.
That is also true. 10 seconds to go. Both, well, I was going to say on similar health, but once again, commentators' curse prevails. Riffa is on... Not gonna get. Oh, they got clipped.
Oh no! How did that not confirm?
Well, that somehow did not confirm, and it does mean that Riffa is gonna start with Rush already available. Brings in a slap, gives them a good out here, and it's championship point for Riffa. Shetty sticking with that Burchuck and the Rosa, but another quick 1-2 poke from Riffa. Sends them back down, and they're looking to just finish this off now. Aren't we on the left hand side though, so Shetty's keeping up the pressure.
But that pressure isn't going to be enough. Riffa safely recovering. But Shady now ready with another rush. Has to start oppressing, putting that pressure in, because otherwise Riffa's just been freely dancing around, playing around this field, not worried of a single darn thing except for that grab.
Yeah, but they immediately follow up with a charged up slap like that. Sends Shetty right back down. Another couple of pokes and they can set Shetty up for a KO. Not quite there yet. Needs another poke before they can commit to that
the rush can KO at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah,
Manor plus Triblast is a high amount of damage if he gets the full thing.
True.
But that's not easy to do with these two arms either,
Yeah.
so now it's definitely...
Oh yeah, both are now in KO range of their respective rushes. Who will it come from first? That is the question. Shetty is just forcing Riffa to move time and time and time again. It will come out with the rush, but it's not going to happen. Oh, it does catch Riffa in the end. Shetty with a slight health lead, 10 seconds to go. Riffa knows anything will give them the lead here. Commits for the rush and finds it. That is the KO. That is another straight 3-0. And Riffa wins the Scrapstar series again.
And that's more than 50% of them. More than 50% of them.
Yep. And to put this into context, Riffa's last win, because they haven't really been competing much, was number 36. So yeah, it was like 9 weeks ago.
Holy gods.
And it does mean that Shetty's 2-week title reign is at an end. It will not happen for a third time. Oh, it's Riffa time yet again.
It's always Riffa time.
I like the fact that we end the year on Riffa time. Because of course we do.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fitting. Pretty fitting.
But still,
start with Riffa, end with Riffa.
Yeah. And with that done and dusted, that is the end of the Scrapstar series, and that is the end for it for 2019, I do believe. Unless you've got more in... I mean, no, you've got the NA one that's coming up later tonight. But is that it now for the year?
I mean, we do have a couple of... We could have 2 weeks worth of more casual use Scrapstars too, if people are interested. I'll put a poll out on Twitter and see how people are thinking about it. But beyond that, Tamashi,
Hello.
I just wanted to say something to you for a quick moment. I just wanted to thank you for how long have we been working together now? Like, when did you start commentating with me? It was
God. I'm honestly not sure. It does feel like it's been a long time now. Like, it does feel like a good few months. Like, I'm trying to scroll up
Yeah.
via our DMs, and it's like it goes past September, so I'm almost thinking like potentially August time. I think might be.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to scroll all the way back up. I've got August. I think I've got. Yeah, August. Yeah, August.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, geez, that's a lot of months.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to thank you for all your time here and helping out with us and everything, because I know you've had a lot going on in your life. Even before just what's recently come to be, you've done so much to help me out with this stuff. You've helped out make this all a lot more fun and exciting and
Aww.
vastly more professional.
Oh, bless you.
You've got a lot going on with your life right now. There's a lot of rough things going on, but yeah, just thank you so much for helping out and being a part of my life. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Like, just straight up, literally saying, "Hey, do you mind doing this? And do you mind taking this on board, like on a permanent fixture?" It's just like that meant a lot. That still means an awful lot to me. And obviously, from there, I've been able to do the Challenge Cup as well alongside it. So it's like,
yeah,
that all kind of started with you. So I can't thank you enough for that myself. And it's nice that on top of that, everyone who comes by as a player or as a viewer, as a spectator even, are consistently having fun and liking what we bring to the table. So I can only hope that going forward, not only will you continue to have me, but we can continue to do more of this, because I absolutely enjoy this.
I would like for nothing more.
Oh.
Where can people find you on the internet or wherever else?
Well, you can find me at Tamashi Kanjo. That's my Twitter, that's my Instagram. Obviously most of my updates are on Twitter, and obviously I stream twitch.tv/Tamashi Kanjo. It's there in the chat. This week will likely be my last week of streaming, because retail has given me pretty much every single day for Christmas week. So this week will likely be my last week of streaming. So tomorrow is when I'll be back, 1:30 GMT 0, so that's UK time, and hopefully we'll have a nice end to the year. But yeah, most of my updates and most of my posts, which have been getting a little bit more emotional lately, you'll find it on Twitter, and hopefully I don't scare you away. And what about you, Maleev? What you got next?
Well, there's something else that I want to bring up. You've got this trip that you're trying to plan out to Winter Breeze. Do you want to talk a little bit about that beforehand?
Are you sure?
Do it. Go ahead.
Okay, so...
Do you have any... You got it.
Yeah, so basically, for those of you who don't know, first and foremost, I am a Splatoon 2 commentator. I started out last year, and obviously got to do, a couple big gigs, including Nintendo UK, which was a lot of fun. Last year, or this year even, I wasn't able to make it to any of the events. Most importantly, I wasn't able to make it to the first ever Splatoon 2 UK LAN event, which really hurt me, because unfortunately I just wasn't able to. I wasn't in the position to do so. The next one is coming up in February, middle of February, and I'm currently doing a donation drive to try and cover travel and accommodation so that I can get there, because if I can get there, I know for a fact that there's a high chance that I can be there doing commentary. But whilst I already have the ticket, because the ticket's, because I have a ticket, travel and accommodation is a little bit harder, and obviously I've only just gotten hold of a retail job, so I'm currently in the process of sorting a drive for that out. That's currently live on my Twitch when I go live, so you get to see what I'm currently going at the moment. And if I can reach it by the middle of January, or get a decent chunk out of it by the middle of January, then I can at least book stuff and it won't cost as much. But that's generally the plan, because if I can get to the LAN event, I know from there I'll at least be able to be part of a scene that pretty much got me started in commentary, and hopefully would be able to bring some more casting to that table on another big stage. So, but that's I'm not forcing anybody to do any donations of any kind, because you donate if you can. That's literally the point. But yeah, that's all I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So thank you for listening.
Do you have a link?
It's pretty much the donations go through Streamlabs essentially. So when I go live, if you make a tip/donation whilst I'm live, it will go through to my PayPal. I will likely provide a link just straight up outside of stream, and I will put that on Twitter later.
Okay, and you'll of course find that. I'll probably retweet that. You can find that through me, of course. The easiest way though is just to follow Tamashi Kanjo directly, and she'll give you all the information and updates that you need. If you want to see my stuff, well, you're already on my channel. Hit follow, and you'll get more updates for future streams. And you can always subscribe. Shoutouts to Replicant for subscribing this week. Much appreciate the support and help. And you can always also find me on @Planet Scrapstar on Twitter. It's either Malieve or Planet Scrapstar. I've got a Discord out there too. Just Discord command, you'll find the link. It's pretty much everywhere. And with that, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I honestly do think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any way that we could sign this off on, really. I just I don't see it happening. I don't see anything else that we can do here to sign off this stream and this series.
Might as well do it the way then.
Yeah, which is your stream, so you end it.
Well, you usually close it out, and then I say ciao, and then you say the stay freshes, and then we end that way.
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. So yeah, thank you all very much for coming. Take care of yourselves, and well, we look forward to you in 2020, and some more side events that might happen before then. You never know. Watch Movie Space. Until then, stay fresh.
Ciao!